Hi, Ryan Michael Galloway here with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com, and we've been talking this week. Well, I've been trying to prove to you that not only do I have a lot of the answers, but I know a lot of other places to go to get some answers by sharing information about my contemporaries out there. And we've had some great interchanges, and it's been a lot of fun. But also, Ariel Hyatt had a really interesting thing on her page where she had a person caller that was just totally depressed that they couldn't sell anything over the internet. They'd recorded something, stuck it out there, and nobody was downloading MP3s. And she asked, what do I tell this guy? So that kicked off some thinking in my head that we need to think about stringing a few things together, connecting some dots. And there's all kinds of pieces of this that work together, but I want to take kind of a vertical view of this. We're going to talk about goals, and we're going to talk about strategies and tactics. I want to define those, show give you enough information to show you how those kind of work together. So a goal is things like, I want to be able to play music for the rest of my life, or I want to make so much money that I don't have to worry and I can retire, or I want to make enough money to make it through next week. Those are goals. All good goals, I recommend aim high, because you'd rather aim high and miss it than aim low and hit it. Frankly, you're not going to overshoot whatever goal you set, so you might as well, go for something big. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, now let's talk strategically, kind of a global thought process of how we're going to make that happen. Well, I'm going to get myself famous is a strategy. Okay, great, you're going to be famous. I want to become famous, famous in my region, my state, worldwide. Do I want to become famous on Facebook, which is worldwide, but it's actually, it's the internet? Or do I need to be famous on Facebook and MySpace and YouTube, or some combination? Is the cyber world, how does it translate to geography? Well, it can, particularly if you're starting on the ground face-to-face with people. So that's your strategy. I'm going to become famous, and I'll use that fame to sell merch and music and make it all work. And I'll be so famous and so interesting that if I only get like 4% of these 500,000 people that are following me, or 4% of, or 0.4%, that it will be enough to create income. Great. Another kind of blend between strategy and tactic is I'm going to get 1,000 true fans, 1,000 people that will spend a day's wages on me every year. If I got that, I know I'm set. My goal is met, because that's a lot of money. It's several $100,000 a year. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about tactics. Tactics are how are you going to make those strategies happen. So let's see, I'm going to become famous. Okay, well, famous on the internet. How am I going to do that? I'm going to get Facebook and MySpace and YouTube accounts, and I am going to use viral networking, finding people who might be interested in what I do, hooking them in, getting them interested, making them friends, talking to them, asking them to invite their friends, running contests on the web, having something that I can give away for the people that invites the most friends to become a fan of mine and explode my following that way of people that are really interested. I'm going to give away a certain amount, or maybe even all of my MP3s, in order to get people to give me their addresses, their email addresses, and then I can stay in touch with them on a regular basis. Excuse me. So that's a tactic. Now let's take the physical world. I'm going to play clubs. What kind of clubs? Well, I'd like to start in smaller clubs, move my way up to 500-seat halls, and then up to 5,000-seat halls. How do I do that? Well, I have to develop a following in a region that will come out and support me that much. And I start by playing the clubs. I walk the room as much as I can. I hand out my flyers. I collect email addresses. When I get up to a certain amount, I invite all those people to come join a contest. If you come see me, you get a chance to win something over the next 10 gigs. Something fairly big, like a weekend at a hotel, or a basket of special wines, or some things that I can get some of my venues maybe even to contribute. Okay, so if I do that, if I get people to come, and they get a ticket, but to a chance to win. But if they bring a friend, they get another chance to win, and so does their friend that they brought gets a chance to win. And so it causes people to say, oh, well, for every friend of mine that I bring in and turn on to this person and get them to sign up and be part of the mailing address, I get another chance to win this prize. And so you work the rooms, you work your audience, you work your following to try to get them to explode into a bigger following. There's nothing better you can do, either through social networking or personal networking, than get your following to sell more people on you. That's how Harley Davidson makes themselves so big and so solid. People who love Harleys go out and get other people to love Harleys, right? Okay, you can do the same thing with your music. So that kind of shows you how it strings together. We got a goal, we got a strategy, we got a tactic, and then as your following gets bigger, then you can move to bigger venues and execute the tactic all over again, and move to a bigger venue and execute the tactic all over again. And what does it finally do? It finally gets you to that goal, that enough stuff's getting sold that you're set for a life where you can do nothing but music, or whatever your goal was that you wanted to set up for yourself. So I hope that connects some dots for you. I hope that explains some terminology for you. It's business, but you have got to become as passionate about this stuff as you do about your songwriting and your singing. If you can't, I don't care how talented you are, if you or somebody on your team won't take this role, won't do this thing, you're done. You will die in obscurity. And there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, it's great doing this stuff. But if you want to play for people, if you want to get this art to the masses, or even a really small concentrated group, you got to think like this. And I am Ryan Michael Galloway, and we don't need no stinking record company.com. Thanks.